I can cut anything you don't like, so don't worry. Yeah.
Well, you tell your story first, Barrie. Right.
No, you got to go for the Whitworth. Start there. I can't believe that.
That's the truth, honestly. Yeah, because I lived there in Bessick, and I used to walk in the Whitworths because I used to go to church and Sunday school. And my mum got a letter put through a door, and it was all newspaper print cut out. Don't put your wogging out Whitworths.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So she took it to the police.
Wow.
So the police, I had ribbons coming off my dress like that, and it was CID. 4 of them round me to walk me through town. And this photographer run out to take my picture, and my dad run out and floored him on the floor because he thought he was running out to do something to me. He thought he was coming for me.
What year is this?
I was 7. I've got that picture on when I was 7. Right. So I was born in 57.
Right, so it's
I can't
64.
64.
Unbelievable, man.
60,
a little girl, a 7-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
Just wanting to go on the Whitworth, thinking nothing about it.
No, because all my family are white, so I didn't see myself as a colour.
Oh.
So they hid that from me. I didn't hear about that. But then I got white gloss paint thrown all over me. I had really long hair because my grandmother was Red Cherokee Indian.
Right.
So I've got loose hair.
Yeah, you
really
have.
Loose.
Yeah.
And when it was long, it was bone straight. And they threw white gloss paint all over me.
Who threw white gloss paint?
These lads near where I lived, and put all them sticky buds in my hair. And, you know, I thought,
what sticky buds?
You know them that you picked off the tree and you could throw them? So they knocked me in the hair. Yeah. So they put them on me, and they poured a big tin of white gloss paint all over me. But it still didn't affect me that, because my mum and my nana and all that protected me from it. And I don't know if it was just a naive child, but it didn't really affect me. And then I started swimming for Manchester because I was a really good swimmer.
You must have been.
And I used to swim for Manchester, and was going in for this big competition. And 3 of the people who were swimming didn't turn up. And when we went, the parents had said that my kids aren't getting in that water with her.
Fuck off.
No, not joking. They're not. If she's in the team, our kids aren't going in that water.
So they mean specifically because you're going to do something to the water as well. They don't just mean, yeah.
So it was 3 of them, but my swimming coach was brilliant. He went, well, don't come in because she's not going nowhere. And he was a white guy, do you know what I mean? He stuck up for me, really. So it was tough.
Wow.
Tough and prejudiced. It was like when we went to the Zooby-Doo disco and all that in Bellevue. And I didn't really know prejudice, to tell you the truth. It just used to go over my head. And they had a bit of a riot with the blacks, the half-caste and the whites. Big fights at Bellevue. And Steve Moore got bottled in the face. And I took my jacket off and pushed it on his face. And this copper come up, lifted my jacket up, and went, oh, it's only a nigger, and put the jacket back down. I run on, tell my mum I hated her, and my mum's brothers, he hated us all. I'm going living with my dad, he hated us. That's the first thing. It's like, I was 15, it like jumped up and gone bird off right in my face. I've been protected from it. Even though my mum had had it. I mean, my mum said they used to spit at her and call her Nick Bosa.
Yeah. Yeah, my mum said they used to spit in my pram when I was born.
Yeah. My mum.
Yeah.
But for me, right, we were raised in Hardwick. Like our lived at 34 Shakespeare Street. And we lived in rooms. And we used to call Uncle Ben. Ben and Ragbecky lived on the bottom. We lived in the middle. And our enemy, Aunt Peg and Uncle Rufi, lived on the top. Right, so they were the only black people we knew. Right. We used to get Africans coming to the house playing cards.
Yeah.
Right. And I can always remember sitting on my dad's knee while we were all playing cards. And I've got this memory where I could understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
In their own language, but never spoke it.
Yeah.
And obviously it's gone now. But all my friends down there were Italian, white lads, right? I only knew of one Asian lad who went to school with us. And if you look at all my school photographs, there's only me, right? And I'm light-skinned. I used to get wog, nigger, coon, and all that, which in Arby didn't affect me that much. But when we moved to Wythenshawe, I got shanked out to Wythenshawe. And that's when the problem started for me.
Yeah.
Went to school, I was 12. So I went to my first school, right? And the first day they tried to put me head down the toilet. So I'm having none of that. Right, so I battered the kid who did it. Right. And then I thought, I'm going to make them more afraid of me than I am of them.
Yeah.
So it was like this thing overtook me and I started fighting everybody.
Wow.
By the time I got to the third year, I was like cock of the school. Right. So I was always in trouble for fighting. And at that time, there was Dave Joando at the top end, Moss Nook, the Jameses, and us at the bottom end of Woodhouse Bar. Is that my phone?
Let me turn it. Go on.
But there was no interaction between us because it was like at different areas, if you like. So we started to.
Right. I've just come back. I went to the hospital today.
All I ever got then was like, what? Because there wasn't, like I said, many blacks there. There's only 3 families that I know of. But Tony Hatter's dad used to come to our house.
Yeah.
Mike Macy's dad used to come to our house. Right. And Mike and Tony had come. And they were like cousins. It was Uncle Red, which is Tony's dad. And Uncle Johnny Mason, which is Mike's dad. So we were like cousins. And we'd have to sit and be quiet while the older folk talk. You couldn't interrupt them.
Yeah, I remember that one. Remember that one with my dad and my uncle.
Telling us off. And,
yeah.
So, left school, right, we started to go down town. And it was like this explosion of half-caste guys. I won't say mixed race because that's a made-up word, but this,
I'm with you.
Right,
go on.
But this explosion of half-caste guys from Ancoats, Ardwick, Moss Side, Wythenshawe, and it just happened. And I can always remember we used to meet in a gamble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Yeah. Go on.
And it must have been a mental thing with us all because we thought, we're not taking any more crap.
Yeah.
Right. So if someone said anything, you battered them.
Yeah.
Right. And I always remember, right, I'll go back a few years because I was about 14 when I first started going into Moss Side. All of my family lived on St. B Street, my auntie. My grandma lived on St. B Street. Right. So I used to go down Moss Side and buy me weed.
Yeah.
But never made it back past Barrymore Road on the bus because I'd be stoned. So I'd have to get off and walk through Barrymore Road to Wythenshawe.
Why? Why would you have to get off and walk?
Because I could never make it. I was always stoned on the bus. I was like, no, I can't travel anymore. I'd have to get off. Right.
Yeah.
I was about 14 then.
Yeah.
Right. So 14, 15, 16 was going down Moss Side by now. But the Reno wasn't up and running when I was 14.
What year's that?
1963.
Okay.
Right. So we used to, by the time we got to 15, we got to town and met up. Right. I finally got all these brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Friends like
exactly.
Brothers. Right. And so, like I said, we used to have always fight. But I always remember I used to have these fights, usually on the like what's going on. I was like, don't fuck with the half-caste. And it got around. Don't fuck with the half-caste, don't fuck with the half-caste. Right. And for some reason we became like, I won't say celebrities, we became known.
Yeah.
Right. We used to have the Avenida Club, where it was all half-caste guys who used to go in there.
Where's that?
That was off near Cannon Street. It was on another corner. Where you got the town hall, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right, and you walk up that side street where the town hall tavern used to be.
Yeah.
Right, it was on the corner opposite there. That was the Avenida. We had the wheel. Right, we used to go. Right, But at that time, it was like me, Ray Buller, Paulo Desania, Paul Udo, Gilly, Tony Atta, Dave Giovando, Tony Pereira, John Pereira. Francis was older than us.
Yeah.
Tony was younger, he was like 14, I think, at the time. And Tony was the reason I got stabbed once in just outside of McGamble, because I'd gone down and he was fighting some Asian lads. Because he was only young, I dived in. But this Asian lads crossed over the road, run behind me and stabbed me. Right, so I've run down the stairs to get the rest of it. The police have come in and arrested me. So I've gone like that. What for? Afraid. So they throw me in the police van, took me to Bootle Street, and the sergeant straight away went, "I'll get that lad to hospital now."
Of course.
Because I was covered from blood. Yeah. So I've gone to Ankles Hospital. Right. I'm thinking to myself, I'll stay awake. Reporters asking me questions, police asking me questions. If I go to sleep, I'll die.
Oh.
Anyway, I fell asleep, woke up in the morning. Next thing I heard, "I want to see my son."
Oh.
I thought, that's not my dad. Right. My Uncle Rufai.
Right.
Well, he was a frightening figure. He never give me any grief, but he was just a frightening presence. And I thought, oh no, he slowed me down. Who did that? I explained. Right. And at that time, I wasn't living at home. I'd left home when I was 16. And I was sleeping in a car near the, what's it called? It's the university buildings now, the UMIST.
Yeah.
Right. And when I got out of hospital, he took me home to their house in Cheetham Hill.
Yeah.
You live here.
Oh.
So he took me down, bought me a suit, got me measured up for a suit. Herringbone suit it was, gold herringbone, bronze herringbone suit, I always remember it. Got measured up, right. And took me home. Right, so I was still, off at a tangent, right. And I used to come in, and my Aunt Peg was the diamond with me, because I was like my Aunt Peg's lost son, because she'd lost two sons.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Sam and Dave. But Dave was closer to me, because I think it was 6 months between us. So my Aunt Peg sort of took me as a son. Right. And I'd come in, and I'd be whizzing off my head. And I'd sit down and we'd have these conversations, purely because I'm whizzing.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, right, Baz. Yeah, but Aunt Peg, listen to it. Right, Baz. So she's dead patient.
And you're like,
yeah. Like 60 to a dozen. I'm sure she wanted to kill me. And one of the things I remember, I got nicked in Barrie, shoplifting.
Yeah.
I was drunk anyway. I was only 16, 17. Right, but I drank a bottle of whiskey and gone shoplifting, which you can't do, can you?
No, not. Imagine you bouncing off the aisle as you went in.
So they took me in the police station at Barrie. Right, so I was with Mavis then. And I said, got my phone call, I said to Mavis, go and get me Aunt Peg to bail me out.
Yeah.
So Mavis had never met me Aunt Peg. And it was a foggy night. And she's gone and said, like, your Barry's been on the phone, can you bail him out? And apparently she said, the little bastard, wait till I get hold of him. And she's going, So anyway, she's cursing me all the way up to Barrie. To get to the police station, so he said, your bail's arrived. I said, who is it, Aunt Peg? I said, I'll close the door. Because she had a terrible temper on her.
Yeah.
Never ever hit me.
Yeah.
But I knew what a temper she had. Anyway, she gets me home, like, and she's like, right as rain with me. Right, don't ever do it again, now they do.
Yeah.
Right, Aunt Peg. Anyway, that was that story. And
go back to the suit though. Why did he get you?
Because.
Go on.
Because I was sort of staying in the car and then shoplifting in the day. I'd robbed a pair of pants. Right, I've robbed my shoes. I've robbed socks. Right, I got Piccadilly
Your underpants.
Oh, I used to be toilets in Piccadilly.
Yeah.
Where the gardens
so you're having to get
so
changed
down
with
there,
the Rob
a
clothes.
wash and change.
Barry, what's happening that you don't go home now? There's got to be something happening that you won't go home.
I left home at 16. Right, I was a man. Right, I was a kid.
Yeah, I was going about.
And I sort of fought with my mum. Right, and being stubborn, I wouldn't go back,
Yeah.
Sort of say sorry. My dad would say to me, come on home. I'm all right. And I found my own independence, if you like.
Yeah.
So I never went home again until I was in my 30s, 40s, I think, when I went home. I used to go and visit them.
Yeah.
Right, but I never stayed.
Yeah.
So I was in about my 30s. And,
so he's got you measured for the suit to kind of change that.
Yeah, because he had this thing about me on Clarified that, you had to be well presented. And I was always presented well, because I used to have, go to all nights and have a suit in the lockers on Piccadilly Station.
Yeah.
Right,
Wow.
to change on a Sunday. Right. But he wanted this trends. He always felt that if you're well dressed, well turned out, right, people would notice you and respect you for it, sort of thing. And it's just the way it was. Right. My dad was the same. Because we were both Africans,
yeah,
right, we were raised with an African culture.
Yeah.
About respect and,
yeah,
it just, I didn't see there's no difference, really. I just know that in me is African, right, and I hold on to that. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm African, I'm not.
Right, to his roots.
People say to me, like, well, you're white. No, I'm not, I'm black. And I do. And I go mad when they say you're white. No, I'm black. Yeah. Right.
But I sort of think, but you're half and half though, aren't you? Because you can't deny your mum's your mum.
No, I can't deny that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But the way we were raised, right, from being kids, we were raised on African food, African stories, the African punishments, one finger, one leg.
I know, I've heard this one a few times. This one finger, one leg.
Yeah. The respect and the way that you sort of look up to your elders.
Yeah.
Right. Was sort of instilled in us. Right. And that's the way it's always been. My mum, she was pretty quiet, my mum, really. She had a moment, don't get me wrong, where she'd lose her temper, but usually in the morning, couldn't speak to her in the morning.
Yeah.
But she'd say, wait till your father gets home.
Yeah, we used to get that
one of them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it. My mum was dead quiet, really. She was only, I think my Aunt Peg was the one that was loud and a big picture, if you like, but my mum was sort of.
Who's older, your mum or Peg?
My Aunt Peg.
Right.
Yeah, but she was strong. Don't get me wrong. I always remember her working, and my dad working, and we'd be looking after ourselves sort of thing while they were at work. Right, but we never went short of food or affection. Right, we were great that way.
Oh.
He was quite lucky, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, for having an African father.
For them two to be together, because a lot of us got brought up by one or the other.
I was brought up by both. My parents were together till they died, but there was murders. Do you know, like absolute murders? My mum loved to drink.
See, I don't remember my mum and dad arguing.
Yeah. You don't?
No,
Anne said the same thing.
Arguing.
About yours.
Yeah, I can't remember it. Right. And my dad was only tiny.
Was he?
He was about 5'5", but built like a brick shit house. He was solid.
Yeah.
And he'd been a stoker in the Merchant Navy all his life.
Right.
And he'd been to sea with Rufai, Pereira, Finney. All those old timers all went to sea together, right? So they all mixed together when they come back to Manchester. Right. But he cast a massive shadow on me, Dad. And everyone respected him. Everybody. And he's one of them old timers who'd doff his hat, morning, right? And he gained respect off white people as well because of the way
he carried himself.
Yeah, he approached them. And he always said to us, don't trouble trouble unless trouble troubles you. And that's the way he sort of lived his life.
Yeah, my dad was like that.
Yeah, if someone troubled him, well, they'd know about it. But, until then, he'd just take everybody as he found them.
My dad was like, my dad and mum was a right odd mix. My dad's Jamaican, right? My mum's Irish. And my dad was like that. All the neighbours liked him. He was dead respectful, doff his hat, believed in dressing well. And my mum would fight with the neighbours. Like get rip-roaring drunk and like go in their house and fight with them, really fight with them, punch up fights with them and everything. And I used to think, what are you doing together? Yeah. But they loved each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved each other.
My mum and dad did it. My dad adored my mum.
Oh, did he?
Oh, even when she died.
Oh.
Right, he never threw any of the stuff out.
Oh.
He was there till he died. He'd go to the cemetery, every Sunday without fail. Right. He used to do all the washing for my mum, right, ironing, which is what I was all allowed to do. He taught us all how to iron, wash, cook. Right, because he said if you're ever on your own, you can do all these things. But he used to iron my mum's stockings and tights. I said, why are you doing that? Right, he'd have a towel and iron his stockings. Why iron stockings? But that was where he was. Right, underpants he'd iron.
His think about like having the right appearance outside's gone a step too far, hasn't it?
Right. But he absolutely adored her. And
that's nice to hear.
He took his wages over every week. Right, the brown envelope, go to my mum and she used to give him his pocket money.
Wow.
But yeah, he was just an amazing man, really. He really was.
Oh, that's lovely to hear, though, because you often hear the other story.
No, I can't ever remember. He hit me twice in my life, and that's when I was 14 and 15, and because I asked for it. Because I'd gone to the bowling alley first, and I had to be in by 10 o'clock. Right, but at 14, I'm thinking I'm a big man, so I'll get in at 10:30.
Right.
So I was waiting a bit. Right, doesn't matter, I'm a big man. Right.
All right.
I can look after myself. Oh, can you? So, we got that far. Boom. Right. Sat me down. Right. So the next time, I was 15, but I'm bigger and stronger now.
Yeah.
In my head.
And taller than him, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's only small.
Yeah.
So I've jumped him off the seat like that. But he must have thought he's big now.
Yeah.
So he's got a brush handle. Poof, in the eye.
Taking no chances.
Yeah. Taking no prisoners.
I remember him saying, "You bloody," right? And he walked out because he must have been a real bad temper.
Yeah.
My mum said, "You better get after him because if he's swearing, he's angry."
Yeah.
Right. My dad never ever swore. Bloody was his swear word. You better get after him, and I had to go and chase it.
Oh.
Right, and say like, "I'm sorry." Right, apologise.
With your eye. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
That's the only two occasions I can remember him hitting me. Right, all through my life. Like I said, he punished me one finger, one leg, while he's sent me to bed with no food.
Yeah.
Right, my mum would sneak up with a sandwich.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the way he punished us. Right, I'll hurt you in your belly. That was his thing. Right. Me and Harry Bison. Do you know Harry Bison?
No.
We were in school once, so our Christine dressed us up.
There's always one, isn't there, in the family?
Christine was his son.
Yeah.
The only girl.
She was the only girl, she was like the princess, and she couldn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So she dressed me and Harry up. So Harry, in his wisdom, has put cornflakes and syrup together down the sink and told his dad he'd been sick.
Right.
So his dad's gone like that. Right. So Harry's run away from home. Big Harry Bison's come to my dad and said, you and Barrie and young Harry have been back in school, so my dad's got me. Right. Go and get Harry. He said he's run off. So my dad, with me, and my dad must have been about 50 at the time. Right, might have been a bit older. Run from Woodhouse Park to Winchester Road where the post house is.
Wow.
Chased Harry down there. Right. Caught him. My dad's got his belt, twisted it, and frog marched him all the way home again. Right. So he was a fit man at 50.
Yeah.
Right. He died at 80 something. We don't know how old he was because he told lies. A bit like.
Everybody said this. They've all got these.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Honestly.
They've all got 10 years at least knocked off, if not 15.
Yeah. He joined the Merchant Navy from Lagos.
Mm.
He first ran away when he was 14, he told us. His brother fetched him back to the village. Now, from my dad's village to Lagos, it's like 8 hours drive. So how he's got from the village to Lagos in the first place amazing.
He must have hitchhiked, he must have done.
I think he must have jumped a train or something.
Yeah.
The second time he's run away, 12 months after, and jumped on the ship. Started out as a galley boy, and then went as a stoker. Right. So he's gone through all that, and like Hans told him, he got blew up. 3 times he got blew up, torpedoed. Right. And he said he was in the water and he'd seen people die and get eaten by sharks and that.
Wow.
Right. But again, he never spoke much about the war. You know, they were involved in the Dunkirk thing, you know, the evacuation of Dunkirk. They were involved in that.
Involved in what way?
In bringing the soldiers, you know, the troops.
Back on their ships?
Yeah. He used to talk about going through icebergs.
Wow.
Right. So they must have been involved in that. You know, the food run they did up through the Atlantic.
Yeah.
The Atlantic convoy.
Yeah.
So he must have been involved in that because he was saying these icebergs were massive. Right, and you had to sort of, the ships had some flood that went through them anyway. America, he was actually in Canada when I was born.
Right.
Right. He was away at sea again when our Christine was born. And he gave up the sea just after our Christine was born, 51, he gave up the sea.
What did he do when he was here then?
The stoker.
Oh,
again.
he still was a stoker, right?
He worked at Gaythorne. He worked there. He worked at Partington. He finished up at Bradford Road.
Gasworks.
Gasworks there. And they used to make the coke. So they burned the coal.
Yeah.
And made the coke. And so all his life he was like a stoker. And then he finished there. He got redundancy there. And he went to Johnson's Wire Works in Sharston, but told them he was 40. Right. And he must have been in his 50s then.
Yeah.
He retired officially at 65, as they thought, but he must have been 75.
Oh.
Right?
Why would you want to work 10 years longer than you had?
My dad was like that. He was just a grafter. He just went to work. Didn't know anything else.
Right.
Same.
Just went to work, and you know, I've known he got to work with a broken foot. He got caught in an accident in Bradford Road, and something gripped him, spun him round, and broke his foot.
Wow.
Right. It took 2 days of work and went back.
2 days. That's pure African, innit? You know what I mean? Like, you know,
yeah. He just wouldn't give up.
Wow.
And he never got to grips with the English language.
Did he not?
No. He had our Christine once looking for shrimps all over Winchester Market. And she'd say, well, I want shrimp. She said, shrimps? I want shrimp. So she'd take him to the fish, not that. Take him to look, not that. Right. So she walked past his hardware store, he went there. Ball of string. Right. She said it's string, not shrimps, but you couldn't say shrimp.
Because of the way, yeah. My dad, it'd be milk and mince and things. Because my dad's Jamaican, it'd be like patois. So he'd send you for milk or, you come back with mince. Yeah, and he'd just look at you.
Another funny story is my mate Ernie, and I've been mates with him since we were 5 years old. He's a white lad. Right. And the first time I introduced him to my dad, he went and wiped his face.
Wow.
My dad went and wiped Ernie's face and said, yours don't come off either.
Oh.
Right. And he took to him like a son. Right. And he could never say his name, Arnie. He said to me, I've seen Arnie. Do you mean Ernie? Yeah, Arnie. Right. Could never say it. And Ernie never ever called him Samuel, he called him Mr. George all the time.
We used to.
He knew my mum was Pam.
Yeah.
He knew my Peg as Peg, but my dad was always Mr. George. Right. And he often reminds me of that, Ernie.
How old was you when you went in the Reno, Barrie?
I was about 16. I was 16, 17.
When are you born?
60s.
I was born 49.
So you're talking
Mid-60s, yeah.
Mid-60s.
Mid-60s to late 60s.
He was in there, and what did it feel like? Because it would have been a very different place to when I went in.
It was all the older lads, like I said, Ray Buller, Paulo Desanya, Paul Udo. A few white lads from the town are going, or from Wickenshaw are going, right? Oh, yes. But mainly, there was a lot of white girls in there.
Yeah,
right?
well, there was.
It didn't, to me, it was just like a club that was ours.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Wheel or the Oasis or that. It was a club run by blacks, for blacks, but it was run by blacks for half caste at that time, because a lot of them were half caste that went in.
That's how I felt about it. That's exactly how I felt about it.
Right. But I used to go in the afternoons after the pub, because we used to go to Big Alex, have a drink in there and go across the road. Right. And after the clubs in the night we'd go. Right. I've actually walked from Wythenshawe to the Reno.
How long did that take?
About an hour and a half.
It took longer than that,
Didn't matter when you're stoned, did it?
Yeah. Unless you're cold or hungry.
No, you just had the energy to walk down there. Phil sort of took to me. He quite sort of took me under his wing. I don't know if you ever remember going to the Reno. By the door, there's a hole in the wall. As you go down the stairs, there's a hole in the wall.
No.
Yeah. I put my fist through that. That's what created that hole.
You made that hole? Because
somebody stole the handbag of someone I was with, and I just lost it. And Phil used to say to me, Barrie. Bit like my dad. Like, stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Don't fight. Walk away. Right. This was the African wisdom. Walk away. But if you walk away, you're going to get stabbed.
Yeah. They had a different, I don't know what I'm trying to think here. They must have had a different reason for saying that, though, because they're more isolated than we are. When they first come to this country, they must have felt really isolated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that whole thing about walk away, keep your head down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Yeah. Don't bring attention to yourself.
Because we feel a bit angry as well, though, because we're half white as well, and it's like, no, this is mine as well. This country's mine too.
We weren't accepted. If I can remember not being accepted by blacks or whites.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You're
can remember that.
Being called a breed.
Oh yeah, that was the super word.
Breed.
Yeah.
I remember going in the Russell and a black girl behind me, because I had got loose hair, spitting on the back of my hair. Oh. I said, you've got wild woolers there, you can't put your hand through you.
No, definitely black girls really didn't like us.
But I was proud of being half caste.
No, but they didn't like us.
No, but you come to that stage, and like I said, it was like an explosion.
Yeah.
Right, of half caste lads all coming together. And I was proud of that.
I know what you mean. In the Reno, I was really proud to be half caste. I'm part of that. No, I don't just mean in the Reno itself. Yeah. I mean, at the time of the Reno.
Yeah, that whole
I was really proud to be half caste.
Yeah. And
I was really glad to be half caste, because I don't think people's going to hate me for saying this one. But I don't think I would have felt proper part if I wasn't. If it was black or white, do you know what I mean? Half-cast was the thing to be at that moment in time.
I had a different take on it.
It was, because if you were half-cast at that particular time, right, people wanted to be like you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Right. You know, look at the half-cast, look how smart they are. Right. You know, right. Or don't mess with the half-cast. And girls wanted to go out with half-cast lads, which wasn't known before, you know, the 60s.
Yeah.
It was like, what do we do? Right. And all of a sudden you had this explosion
of pride, really.
Yeah, one hour half-cast lad.
Yeah, of pride, really.
Yeah, it was a strange, I can't describe it, it was just a strange thing. And I used to say to Adam, like, we were the people that sort of made that road, right, that the generations behind,
like myself,
could follow.
Yeah.
Because until then, we were ostracised, we were miles apart. And you used to have to, if you walked down the road and there was a row of white lads walked in, or 2 or 3 white, you had to walk round them.
Yeah.
And at this particular time, it was like, no, we're going to walk through you.
Yeah.
Right, and walk through them, right, and take whatever consequences that brought. So for me, it was a good time to be half-cast. Right?
No, see what you
still
say.
Is.
And it's a different experience though for a man though.
100%.
You know that thing about you've got to go round them or through them. That's a big thing to a man, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you was just saying, Lorraine, you had a different experience.
I did, because every one of my friends except one.
Yeah.
You remember Ganyu, who used to work in the Reno?
Yeah.
Well, Monica Ashola was his daughter, and she was our friend. But we used to walk in the Reno 10 strong, and 10 strong were white.
Okay.
With us. We used to get called the Dynasty Crew. Do you know what I mean? Because when we walked in, they knew who was in there. Do you know what I mean? And Ozzy and all them lot, I sneaked out once and went up to the Nile. Next thing, Ozzy's dragging me back down to Rio. Get away from them, Jamal, you're not going near him. You know, and all that. But I had a different look on that, because even like Monica, because she had tight hair and she was a lot darker than me, I never felt like I was half-cast, even though my dad was black, because I've been brought up white, completely white. My dad was black, but I was white. I got took down the Reno as a child. Yeah. My dad used to put Christmas parties on every Christmas for all the kids, and they all used to go get took to the Reno. So I used to get took. But when my dad come over here, he worked at Gorton Tank.
What's that?
It was in Gorton, and used to do metal and all that. But he got forced to come over here to sort of build this country back up after the war. And
where's your dad from?
Trinidad.
Yeah, okay. So it's like my dad comes from them reasons.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, Trinidad. So what had happened, he had a big car crash in Moss Side, and he went through a window. And my mum's a nurse, and she was at Withington, and it was my mum who nursed him. That's how he met my mum.
Right.
Because my mum was a nurse at Withington. Yeah. And that's how, like, they got together. But my mum's family disowned her and kicked her out and, you know, what are you doing? You know, you can't, you know, and then she had me. And my grandmother then came to see me and then took me and my mum. She said, you're not living in this house where loads of people live and you're sharing a bathroom. You're coming home. But my dad always strived, from him getting the Reno as a cellar and making it into a club, the Palm Beach. Then when he had the refurb, he called it the Reno. The Reno was called the Reno because his name was Roland.
Oh, okay.
So he couldn't call it Roland, he called it Reno. And that's when Clive Lloyd, because Clive Lloyd used to be in my dad's all the time. Okay. And when the Craig twins come here, they was my dad's friends down there. My dad was a bit of a naughty man.
Brilliant. I love him.
Do you know when he was a young? Yeah. And he used to go and have all his suits done at Savile Row. My dad, always. But he had his shoes. This was the worst thing that I ever heard about my dad. Go on. He'd have blades put in him, and when he clipped his toes like that, the blade is like thing out, and he'd do your ankles with it. And he used to have them, my dad. when he was in there, in the Reno and all that. But he was a self-taught golfer, my dad.
Right.
And they all laughed at him in my side, like saying, you can't go in Altrincham to try and play golf.
Yeah, with your black cells.
We're talking about, you know what I mean, early 60s,
Yeah.
61, 62.
Yeah.
And he was the first black man to turn pro golfer, my father.
Oh, what? Give him a round of applause.
Yeah, but every time he drove out of Altrincham Golf Course, the police arrested him.
Oh.
Because he wanted to find someone on him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he was black, and why should
What's he doing in Altrincham for a start, in their mind?
My dad lived in Altrincham.
Okay.
Then he moved from Moss Side to Altrincham. So my dad was, if you found my dad at Altrincham, you'd think you're talking to a white man. Because he'd have the voice, and he mixed with all them, but he never forgot his roots. He was in the Reno, and so as a young kid, I went in the Reno at 14.
Yeah.
Hence, I'm telling you the story about all the half-castes, because we used to all go Bellevue. So we know Tommy, we know Danny, we know Steve Cotty, or Ozzy, Tony Cole, Paul Clay, Joey Jasper. So we all used to then go to the Reno. So they used to all torment me. Your dad's here. So I'd be shaking, you know what I mean? So one day I've got a bottle of peach canai, and I'm, rewind! And my dad grips me hair and drags me through the Reno, bounces me up every stair and takes me to the hospital to my mum where she was working nights. Guess where I've just found her? So latter, every time I used to go to her, no, your dad's going to kill, no man, you're not coming in, no. And Linda Morgan, Irish, no, you're not coming in. But God, please let us in. But anyway, we all went in, but they all used to come back to my house and all that. But it was a different time then, like, as the Reno went later, like gallery days and all that. Yeah. It wasn't the same family. It was like the guns had come out then. Yeah. And I never felt safe then, because we'd walk from the Reno right through the Bullring to the Russell. Yeah. Girls on their own and not feel that, because we all felt safe. We all felt safe, and we was all like a big family in there. But like all my friends, who were white, by the way, except Monica, I can say I was a privileged child, because my mum worked and she was a nurse. My dad had the Reno, and then he was a golfer. So anything that come out, a fur coat, a leather coat, I had it first. I lived in a very poor area. So little did my mum and my dad and my nana know, who brought me up, the pressure they put on me, because they made me look the best. I already stuck out.
Yeah.
I already stuck out.
Oh, yeah.
So because I already stuck out, I'd get all this thing.
You get jealousy and stuff.
And then
as well.
I used to be a dancer, tap ballet and all that.
Yeah.
By the age of 7, I'm covered from head to toe in psoriasis, stress.
Right.
Because I've got to be the best. I've got to do this.
Yeah.
If my socks went off colour, my nana would throw them in the bin, pure white. My dad used to come down with big fireworks. The estate used to be all round his car. They just never. And when I went to Linda Morgan's, who come from a big family of Irish family, I used to love going, because like they'd have coats on the bed and all that. And I'd never seen out like. Yeah. They used to call me a spoiled bitch, because I definitely was. Wow. Do you know what I mean? I was a privileged child, me. I used to get took to restaurants with my dad at a young age. Which is kind of unheard of in that time. It's every day now. Yeah, because to go to restaurants. I'm 59 now. Yeah. I'm 60 next year, me. So I was born in 57. Right. So on the flip of it, of having all that abuse that I didn't really, my mum and dad and protected me from, but they went through. But then when I got older and got in with the half-caste, like, I think I only went near half-caste because my first boyfriend was white, and he was called Bobby Barlow. I thought he was the love of my life at 13. Knocked on his door, and his dad opened the door and went, "Get that nigger away from my door." That was it. Fucking hell, but broke me heart. So then I went for somebody my colour, because I thought, they can't do that to me. Yeah. So when I goes to like Gary, who I used to be with, who I've got my 2 kids to, and I've gone to his house, his mum's opened the door and went, "You Roland West's daughter?" I went, "Yeah." I used to work behind the bar in the Reno. Peggy.
Yeah.
She was from Cardiff.
Right.
Peggy. And she used to work behind the Reno, and Alan used to do all the painting and decorating for me dad. So that's what I think drove me to be with half-caste lads. I never had a white boyfriend.
After that
It was
moment.
always half-caste lads, and because I thought I can't have that rejection again.
Fucking hell, I'm not surprised.
And Linda's dad, Paddy, what a proper Irish family. And he'd go mad, but he'd say in front of me, "You better not go near the fucking niggers, I'm going to kill you." And Linda would go, "Shut up, Bubbles is there. No, Lorraine's not fucking like that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he had 4 daughters who went with blacks. So.
Yeah.
You used to find that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I remember going from school to a mate's house, Cyril Smith's house, and he'd say to his man, "Where are you going?" "I'm going out with a black man." And he'd look at me, right?
Yeah, because they used to just say it.
And it was just a thing they said.
Yeah.
Right, but not realising, right, that, you know, it does penetrate.
Yeah.
Right, it was like a barb. Right, whoa.
Yeah, but a lot of the half-caste lads
You don't see this.
a lot of the half-caste lads who we went around with, Ozzy and all them lot, and Paul Clade and Tony, gorgeous, Joey Jasper, gorgeous, all went for white women.
Yeah.
They didn't come for a breed.
No.
Tell the truth.
No, it's true. It's
They
true.
didn't. They didn't.
No, it's true.
Because nearly all of them went for
There's
the
a
white
few.
girls.
There's a few
of
that,
them
yeah, like
didn't.
Brian and Anne.
Yeah,
There's
Brian
a few.
and Anne. But I mean, our generation, Anne's older than me, so
Yeah.
like ours.
No, our generation definitely not. They went to
But
town.
ours was the same.
We used
Go
to
on.
go to the Piccadilly Club in town, and it was whites upstairs, and you went downstairs, and all blacks was downstairs, and we'd get the 100 bus to the Reno. That's where we used
I
to
remember
go.
that.
Piccadilly Club.
Yeah,
But
I
I
remember
used to
that.
say to her, "Why are you not going out with a mixed race girl or a black girl like that? You're mad.
Why?
You're like putting 2 fires together."
No, it's true, you know. That's the
what-
other thing.
That's what I used to say.
Because
to
I
her.
wouldn't have gone out with a half-caste lad.
Right,
Yeah.
like,
Because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because I know me and I know them. It's like, fuck off. No.
Yeah. And that's what he
Now,
said.
Yeah.
me, I always did go out with
Yeah.
a half-caste lad. And my 2 boys say the same thing as he says. They've never been out with an half-caste girl, white, because no way, you're mental, you're daft, you end up killing us. You won't get away with the shit that they got
No,
away
it's
with.
true, you know.
That's the truth of it. Yeah.
No,
you just
it's
wouldn't.
true, because my
Yeah.
first night in the Reno with Mandy and Susie, that's because they're like all cool, you know,
Yeah.
all the lads, you know, Tony and all them, like
Yeah.
you're saying. And we're like, fuck off, you're just like our brothers, you can't be cool with us. Do you know, like, and you start taking the piss straight away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose the white girls see them differently.
Well, this
I don't know.
they did, I suppose.
Yeah.
It was like this,
A
a
statement.
right status symbol for them.
A designer handbag.
designer
Yeah,
handbag, it was.
Because
And
they
especially
did
like-
that, I'm going out with an half-caste.
It's like Ozzy.
But no, with a pride in the voice.
Yeah. And look, but the half-caste lad, you're handsome though. as
Yeah, but
well.
Ozzy Sadie used to work at Cape, and the market centre was there, and then there was a street facing the market centre, and there was a boutique, it was called Cape, and he used to work there. He used to charge these white girls coming taking them Polaroid pictures of him.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
They loved
off.
him. They loved him. They absolutely loved him.
So that's why in that picture he's got his fucking shirt open. And you know that picture where they look like reservoir dogs?
And like people said, you know, like you said you had them all in your mums and all that. It wasn't about nobody. It was all in the same bed. No one was having sex.
No, I know that.
And none
that's
of them,
what that's
none
what
of
I
them was
thought.
drinking.
Yeah.
Right, but Paul Clade was always a mad he was. Do you know what I mean? His temper would go like that. We're all in my mum's. We're on the 4th floor now in a masonette. So he's with this girl, Geraldine, this white girl who he's with. The next thing they're arguing, I'm going, Ozzy, go and see him, like that. I've gone in, 4th floor, you know, he's hanging by a
fuck
feet.
off.
No, but I'm only thinking what my mum's going to do to me. I'm not thinking
Yeah, with
about
the
that
body.
poor girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got him to bring her in, but mad things. We had a water fight in my mum's house. There was all water coming through the thing. The carpets was soaked. We had to drag the carpets out. She'd gone away and put them over the landing. When she walked in, all she could smell was damp. Oh, don't. So I kill my kids a
If
quarter.
they did, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like you buy an hamper at Christmas.
Oh, don't.
I had an eating competition with Tony Cole and all them lot. All that was left is them lemon and orange segments. Out the full hamper, we'd get the lot. I said
What
it was
did you
Stella. because Stella, who used to go with Robin, Stella Owen House, we always thought she used to wear about 3 jumpers because she was dead skinny.
Oh.
We didn't know. Now we know. She had anorexia, but we didn't know.
Yeah. Oh God, that was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and we didn't know because she used to put 3 and 4 jumpers on and 2 and 3 pairs of pants to make
but
it.
that's really suffering then, because now it's a big thing that everyone talks about.
Yeah,
To secretly be
But
that
then
fair.
did you?
But I mean,
But
then in the 70s, we're talking 74, 75, we didn't know. We just used to think, oh, she's just skinny. And what made it worse, she went out with Robin, who was half, because her dad was German. Hohenhaus, she was called, Stella Hohenhaus. Oh, don't. Her dad and mum, when she found out she was an outcast, was absolutely gone off the faces.
Well, that happened to me with Mavis. Right. I met Mavis at the wheel, the first wife. So, I've not been to the house or anything.
Right.
And I met her dad in town. Right. And her dad, I said, like, you know, I want to marry your daughter, are you sure? Yeah. Right, well, we thought about your children. What colour are they going to be?
Shit, the cheeky cunt.
So I went,
yeah, but
sky blue, pink, yellow borders. What colour do you think they're going to be? Right. Anyway, he goes off and we go to our flat. Right. So I'm barred from their house. Bear in mind, I'd never been, but I'm not allowed to go to the house. Right. I think it's for about 6 months. Right. Before a mum started, because mum had a bit of a breakdown, you know, because she was going out with me.
And mum had a bit of a breakdown?
Yeah, because they lived in...
because of her grandchildren?
Well, they lived in Newton Heath, you see.
Okay.
So there was no blacks in Newton Heath at that time.
Yeah.
Right, what the neighbours going to say.
Yeah.
And neighbours worked for Price and Prescriptions, a prescription bureau on Cheetham Road.
Yeah.
Used to price prescriptions. Grammar school girl. Right.
Oh God, so yeah. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, the first was born, Yvonne was born. And the first thing he said, what colour is she?
Oh, good God,
said,
man.
no,
This
no.
is your own blood,
Yeah.
your own grandchild.
So we took her down, right? And believe it or not, they fell madly in love with her.
Oh.
like my
They
grandmother
would
did
do
with me.
anything for her, right? They just completely turned.
Oh.
Right? And they were great from that day on, right? So that was that experience of that.
But it's not really them, is it? Really?
No,
it's just the society at the time.
It's just like the way he was brought up. It's like my grandmother, when she come and see me, and she fell in love with me, she still wouldn't allow my dad to come near the door.
Right.
My mum could live with her and me, but my dad wasn't allowed. And she had a son, and he got killed in 1960. He was in the army, and a tank went through him in Cyprus. It was a freak accident, but they phoned me nana. She had 10 kids.
Yeah. Wow.
You need £1,000 to bring his body home, else we're going to bury him there. So she went everywhere to get money. And my mum phoned my dad in and went to the Reno to my dad. He said, you know, we can't bring my brother home. And he walked in and put £1,000. Now, for him to put £1,000 on her table in 1960, how much would that be worth?
It's like £10,000 or something.
And
I don't know, it's a lot of money.
Then on, she'd fight to the hilt for him.
Oh.
He was more welcome at her house than anybody else, and anybody said anything and she was on the back, and that turned her around though. But if that wouldn't have happened, I don't know if my nana would have ever accepted my dad.
Because they don't see the real person, do they? See what society tells them to see.
Yeah, they just.
You know, it's like, you know, the signs you see in the window, right? No colours, no
blacks,
Well,
no
my
Irish,
grandfather,
no
my grandfather on my mum's side, he had like olive skin. He was nearly my colour, but he was white, but he was a desert rat, so his skin was really dark and he had dark eyes, you know what I mean? So I didn't think of me as a colour because I was the same colour as my granddad.
Yeah.
And I want darker than my dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because where do I get this hair from? He said, your grandmother was red Cherokee. Because I go a reddy brown in the summer.
Yeah.
I go like a red castola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just weird.
What do you not go? I just get down.
I just brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
and then
I go white in the winter, and come April, my skin changes colour again.
Yeah, proper dark.
Chameleon. Right. But when right, my sister's darker than me. The next brother down's darker than her. right? And our David's darker than the rest of us. And it goes in degrees. It's weird. But when I was born, my dad used to tell me, my mum, right? Because I was like, because my mum said to him, where's my baby? There. Well, he should be black. No, it's your baby. Right? So my dad was at sea, so I was calling my mum, right, saying she steps around and all this. So my dad, when he come home, took me to all his friends.
Oh.
He said, now tell me he's not mine. Because I'm the spit of my dad.
Yeah.
Except lighter.
Right.
No, you can see you've got African features.
Just
You've definitely got African features.
Right.
Just pale skin.
Took me around to everybody. Right.
Oh.
Right. So now say it. And they all went, no, she to a T. Right. So
they love badness people, don't they?
Yeah.
You're like, she slept around.
Yeah, because she's with a black man.
Yeah, because she's no good already now.
Yeah, she's no good already.
Yeah.
It's like people used to automatically think.
She was like, my mum was raised by her auntie. Right. My Aunt Peg was raised by her mother.
Yeah.
When my mum was born, right, her mother gave her to my auntie to raise. Right, in Disbury.
Okay.
Big house in Disbury. Mum said they had tennis courts.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So she's a bit posh?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And she lived there till she was 14 when my gran took her back home. Right. Now my mum's auntie used to be in service.
Okay.
Right. So my mum taught us how to use all the knives, all the forks, proper table etiquette. And that's how she was brought, so she brought us up that way. And then her mum took her back and she had to go and work, doing whatever, right? But she had that presence about her. She wasn't a snob, but you could tell that she was a lady.
She's just been brought up differently.
Yeah, she was a lady. Yeah. And she insisted on manners, and we had to excuse ourselves from the tables.
Oh, that was a big thing, really.
Excuse me, can we leave the table?
Yeah,
right.
We had to. You couldn't leave the table, he did you.
I don't understand your mum and dad's relationship, because it sounds like they was together, but then it doesn't sound like they were together.
No,
it depends.
It wasn't.
Go on.
Because when my mum went, then my nana said to her, baby or career, because she was training.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't do the two.
Yeah.
So you either settle down and marry him.
Yeah.
With his baby and have no career.
Yeah.
Or you have your career. Well, she picked career. Because she knew Roland was a womaniser.
Yeah.
100% a womaniser. But always good with money. She never went without money. My mum for me. So she never met another man till I was 19 years of age.
So that says to me she loved him.
Then I didn't know, and I didn't find out. When she used to have rows and all that, she'd disappear. She was going to my dad. And when my dad died, she lasted 7 months after him.
Oh, don't, I'm going to cry.
She did. She loved him all her life.
Oh, don't, I'm
but she
cry.
knew he could never
be good.
Because, like, I've got half brothers and sisters, like our Michelle. Our Michelle now is 3 years old, younger than me.
Okay.
I was his firstborn here. I'm on the market centre, and this kid's on the market centre. And Stella said to me, that kid's just said, she was only young, she's just said that her dad's a professional golfer. So I've gone over and I've gone, what's your dad?
Yeah.
He's a professional golfer. I said, what's his name? She said, Roland West. I didn't know about her. I went off my head, phoned my dad, screaming, crying, because I thought I was my dad's only one.
Oh, now how old was you then?
I was 15, because I was school at 15. I used to work at Saxons on Market Street.
Oh, yeah.
But like all them lot, when they used to stay at our house and they used to have to get them up, I was the only one who went to work the next day on Market Street there. So I worked there. But when I found out about her, and she lived on Whitchurch Road.
Yeah.
She didn't live with my dad. She lived on Whitchurch Road there. But he was always in my life, but he never come where my mum was. And my mum had never be around if he was coming, because she idolised him. And all through my childhood, my mum was on her own and devoted her life to work and looking after me and that. But it was really, when you look back at it now, it was sad, because she loved him all her life, but she knew she could never control him.
Yeah.
He died, and a month after he died, I've got a message to me are you Roland West's daughter? Because people used to ask me, was I related to the West down here? No, I'm not, you know. So I said, yeah, why? Well, I'm your sister, I live in Birmingham. So I thought, he died. You're coming out of the woodwork now because you think he's got loads of money because he's a golfer, blah. So I went, send me a picture. I can show you. She's like my twin. Is she?
Yeah, honestly.
She's like my twin.
I had to look twice.
Wow.
She's like my twin. She's younger than me. And her mother was half-caste Chinese.
Right.
And she was a nurse with my mum, and my mum found out she had his baby.
Mum and her was with colleagues.
Yeah. And she had a baby to him.
What a
and
fucker, man.
My mum threatened her and she got off to Birmingham.
Wow.
But I didn't
So
know.
he really threw it in her face. She really knew he'd come. You know that you can't even be bothered to go a few miles away.
Yeah,
to do
but when I went
doing.
to her when she was older and I said, you're never going to believe it. She said, what? I said, Roland's had another kid. She went, it is age. I mean, because our James is 38, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's younger than my son.
Oh, yeah, you said, because what did he have, a bypass?
Yeah. And he thought it was a new man. But the only good thing about James is a pro golfer at Altrincham. He just put everything into him. Do you know what I mean?
To give him the real chance.
He was the real chance. Because I always knew I had two brothers in Trinidad.
Right.
Who had left with his mother because one of them, his wife over there, she died in childbirth, giving birth to my dad's wife. She had two children, but the youngest one, she died in childbirth.
Wow.
So his mother, the Red Cherokee Indian, my mum used to send money off my dad over to her for their education. Now my brother become a plastic surgeon because of my dad over there, and the other one had a fishing port over there with what they left them over there, and that's the way it was. So I always knew I had two brothers in Trinidad. But when I got to 14, 15, he wrote to me, my eldest brother, Don, saying, can you tell me what relationship your white mother's got with my father? Oh, well, my mum went mental, didn't she? So that was in. I didn't want to see him. But then when I had my son, he came over and met me.
Yeah.
But when we went to the airport to see him, and he came out like that, because he's a double of my dad, he came out, he fell on his knees, and I went, what? He went, it's like looking at your grandmother. Look at the picture. I'm the living image of my grandmother, the Red Cherokee, really. And I'd never ever met her.
Wow.
And she lived here to 103.
Wow.
103.
How old did your dad live till?
74. 74 he lived till. He lived till, my dad. But he was a playboy of pictures with
He had a great life.
Yeah, Georgie Best and all that.
Yeah.
With all the bunny girls.
Really?
And I used to go
I'd like to see these.
used to go in Sandpipers because Danny Miller used to be the chef there.
Sandpipers?
Yeah, and I've gone in, me and Linda and all that. I was clocked my dad like that, this young bird. So he's come scattering over. Right, you're my sister. I went, right, get us a drink, me and Linda, because he's all dressed up. So we've gone over, sat there. So the girl's there. So the more drink than I'm drinking my brandy and baby champagne. So she went, I can't believe how much you look like each other. I went, it's me dad.
Louis' cover.
That's a street taker.
He wanted to kill me.
I bet he did.
Wanted. But slick. So I've got all the pictures I've got of him out in the manor. He's absolutely, and you know, when we opened the car door, you could smell him. He always smelled dead sweet, and he was just mental on cleanliness. And, but all the women loved him. Absolutely loved him.
Oh, so your poor mum, she just couldn't have put herself through that.
She couldn't, but she stayed on her own all that time.
Oh.
All that time, I was 19 when she met. Well, it was funny because she met the guy she was engaged to when she was 16, who she left for me dad, and he signed himself in the army for 24 years, broken-hearted.
Fucking hell, man, it goes round and round, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he got married again and then come back to Manchester, then met her, but I hated him because he was white and I hated him. I couldn't stand him. I was the worst bitch. I put his tyres down.
Just because he was like, or because he was with your mum?
Yeah, because he was. I'd never seen a man with my mum.
Okay, right.
I don't
so there's jealousy and all sorts going on.
I didn't even remember my dad being with my mum.
Right.
So for this white man to come in my house and be with my mum, I just want having it. I used to jump in my mum's bed and all that. I'd sleep with my mum. He'd have to get in my bed.
Would you?
Yeah.
At fucking 19.
Yeah. I didn't care. I didn't like him.
Barrie, will you smoke outside? Is that all right? Yeah.
But, you know, it's like when I hear about talking about the half-caste and all that, some of them, you know what I mean, have really, really hard lives. I had some bad things happen to me, but didn't affect me till I was a lot older, and I had a mental breakdown because of it. And